Welcome to Campus Culture. I'm Cassandra, and in this series, I'll get to know campus students and faculty. Keep watching to learn more about the members of our vibrant virtual community. Today, I have Hannah, a campus student and intern who is just about to graduate. Welcome, Hannah.
Hi, thanks so much. I'm super excited to be here.
So let's dive in with just where are you from? We're an online school, so we know we have students all over the country.
No, for sure. And speaking of all over the country, I'm actually joining you from Springdale, Arkansas. When I first joined the program, I was living in Rockwall, Texas.
Amazing. And tell me a little bit about what you do outside of campus.
Yeah, so outside of campus, I'm actually a pretty avid gamer. I like to play a lot of video games in my free time. I'm also a very avid dog lover. I like to be able to spend time with pets. I actually have a connection with a local shelter where I've actually helped to support like some of the puppies in the local area, kind of fostering them and giving them a space to stay.
Oh, so you foster puppies at your house?
Yeah, I've done that since August of last year.
Amazing. That's a good perk of going to school online. You can't do that in a dorm, I would imagine.
No, for sure. It's definitely been a nice experience. I'll be honest, like the first puppy that I actually got to foster, we had considered her potentially a foster failure, right? Because I just loved her so much, I couldn't let her go.
Let's get to know a little bit more about you. And that brings me to my next question of before you were a campus student, what were you up to?
Before I was a campus student, I was working full time as a cake decorator for a local bakery in Texas. It was a really small kind of mom and pop shop, and I really enjoyed spending time there. After working in the business, I got to understand a little bit of the business side in addition to like all the cake decorating aspects. And it had really hit me that I wanted to start to learn the skills to open my own bakery. And so I started pursuing like an online community college space for a business degree.
That's so great. Tell me about the kind of baking you like to do.
Yeah, so I love to do all kinds of baking. I actually got started cake decorating when I was very young. Like, I'm the go to decorator in my family for like Christmas cookies and all that kind of stuff. And for me, like, I really love being able to spread that joy. So I even, like, to this day, whenever Christmas rolls around, I'll bake cookies and decorate them and like send them to my neighbors and to people around. Just because I like to spread that little bit of happiness wherever I can.
So you were decorating cakes, and then what initially sparked your interest in campus?
Yeah, so at the time, I was really interested in finding and earning a degree online because working full time, I wasn't really sure how I could fit going to college into my schedule. At the time, I would drive back and forth 1 hour each way to the bakery that I would work at. So I really didn't have time to commute to a local community college, and it was really kind of uncomfortable. But finding an online program like Campus really kind of set it up for me.
And why did you decide to go back to school at the time that you did?
Yeah, so at the time I was really interested in going back to school because I'd actually initially gone to school before the start of the pandemic and dropped out, unfortunately, because of academic reasons. And I never really thought that I would be able to like go on and earn my degree, but I knew after working as a cake decorator for the years that I did that I wanted to branch out and to start working in more in the corporate world.
So you became interested in campus. What was it about campus that ultimately got you to enroll?
Honestly, I was super nervous when I first came across campus just because it sounded too good to be true. But after getting a phone call, I will never forget. I had a 15-minute phone call with one of the admissions team members while I was driving back from the bakery. And she was super sweet. She was like, "You're in the car right now?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "We can call later. It's okay." And I loved that it was such an honest and earnest conversation. And from day one, I felt super like actually reassured that this was a real thing. And then when I got to see the kinds of professors that were teaching in the program, I knew for sure that this was going to be the best bet for me.
Now that you're here at campus, what's been your favorite part?
My favorite part about campus, and this is maybe a little unique to me, is that I love the idea that I've been able to connect with as many people as I have. When I first joined campus, I knew that I wanted an online program, and I was a little bit nervous because I didn't want to just be a number. I didn't want to just be someone who just kind of went by and learned in the program. I wanted to be able to connect with people. So the best part for me is being able to connect with the professors, being able to connect with my peers, and being able to kind of find those organizations and those groups to be able to share like our shared interests. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my best friend, I met her in this program, and she's been my study buddy, my go-to from day one. And it's really nice because we've had now a 2 year long friendship, and I never would have found it without campus.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you make friends and make those connections in an online setting?
So I think that one of the things that's really important about like finding those friends in those situations is like friendship can tend to come from like spaces of proximity, right? That's kind of how you would make friends maybe when you would be in school and high school and that kind of stuff. And being able to take courses online with campus, you actually get to see people in your classrooms, you get to see them and kind of connect with them a little bit. We also get to connect with them like in a discussion section kind of state, where we get to actually connect with each other on not only course material, but then to also kind of socialize a little bit and get to know each other. And because of like the platform features with Campus Wire, we could also like direct message and like call each other and actually get to spend time with each other outside of class. I think that in general, the space is very much what you make it, and it's something that's really exciting. I got to meet some of my best friends in the entire program just by, happenstance and seeing them in class.
I think you probably touched on this a little bit with how engaging and how many friends you've been able to make at campus. But what has been the most surprising part of campus to you?
I think the most surprising part about campus is how supported I felt throughout the entire process. Like, whenever you go to college, you expect, because it's different from high school, at least you're told that, right? That you're going to be very independent on your own, taking on assignments, having to balance work, life, school, everything. And what's really nice is that with campus, I actually had a support system from day one. Like, I was able to connect with my student support coach to be able to coordinate schedules. And one of the first classes I took was a college success course where I actually got to like look at what my schedule looks like and how I can work and go to school and what time frames I need to set aside for studying or working on assignments. And really, what's really nice is on top of all of that, as I mentioned before, I'm in Arkansas right now. I was in Texas when I started, and I have actually since moved states. And my success coach, my student support coach, was really pivotal in helping me to coordinate the move and understanding how that would affect my schoolwork and how I could still be successful as a student.
With that, because you were able to coordinate your schedule and get all of these things done, fit everything in, what would you say is your proudest accomplishment that you've had at campus?
I think that my proudest accomplishment at campus would probably have to be my academic performance. I know it's kind of cliche, but when I first dropped out of college, I dropped out because I didn't perform well academically. And so, since joining campus, with the support of like everybody, and with being able to kind of have the confidence going in day one, I've actually been able to be part of different groups. I've maintained a 4.0 GPA, and every quarter is like one more for the books. Every kind of term is one more for the books.
Congratulations, first of all. And I'd also love to know a little bit more about, you mentioned your student success coach and their support. What do you think it was about your campus experience that allowed you to perform academically in the way that you did?
I think it was very much a confidence thing for me. And I think that going in, when I first met with my student support coach, I had explained to him, I was like, I really am kind of nervous. I don't know if I'm going to be doing well with this. I didn't want to invest in something and then find that I ultimately failed because I didn't know how to balance it or I didn't know how to do certain things. Like, I was the kind of student that would be really anxious about doing things, and also this weird mix of pride of like, I have to do this, right? If it's been given to me, I have to be able to do it. And it's been nice because I've been able to kind of break down those walls. Like, my support coach has been able to help me to understand that it's okay to reach out and that it's okay for me to be able to talk with people and to be able to like make sure that I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And, that for me, that confidence to know after I got that first A and after I got, that first kind of step forward, I knew that I could take on the rest.
As you're talking about this confidence that you've developed as a campus student, it's making me wonder, do you think that there's anything you've accomplished here that you maybe wouldn't have been able to at a different school?
I don't think that I would have been able to have access to as many opportunities at any other school. Because I was part of campus, I actually got to partake and find a couple of different student organizations. I got to make a bunch of connections. And what's more, it's given me all of the tools that I need and the confidence that I would need to start moving forward into the workforce. And that's been really nice for me because, like, when I'd first joined, I knew that I wanted more for me. I wanted more for my future and for the future of, like, my future family. So this was really nice.
Now that you're talking about the future, let's get into that a little bit. What are your goals for when you leave us here at campus very soon?
I'm going to finish what I started back in, gosh, now almost 10 years ago. I'm going to go on to complete my 4 year degree. I want to get a bachelor's in hopefully marketing or business administration. At this point, I'm actually in the middle of the transfer process. So I'm applying to a bunch of different colleges. And then with that in mind, I also want to start developing my career.
How about the transfer process? How has that been transferring from campus and working with our staff here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really great. When I first was approaching the transfer process, I was a little bit nervous, just because there's so much to do. Like, I know that when I'd first applied to campus and when I'd applied to other colleges, that I would go through the application process. But now that I'm kind of preparing to move on to a 4 year school, it's also the conversations of, like, hey, how can I afford this? What can I look for when transferring credits and that kind of thing? And it's been super nice because, with not only my support coach, but also with everybody else with campus, they've been able to help me negotiate, like, great pathways. And I think just recently, like, you guys have been able to form partnerships with other 4 year schools, which was super exciting for me. One of those, I think, was Arkansas. No, that was Arizona State University. And that was actually one of my schools that I was really interested in applying to.
So, thinking about the goals that you have now, how are they different from your goals or what you thought your life might look like when you first started at campus?
So when I first started at campus, I really genuinely thought that I was going to earn my associates in business and I would open my bakery. I would start looking for funding and I would start, spreading that wonderful cake, sweet joy, right, everywhere. But as I kind of delved into a lot of the subject matter, I realized that a lot of my passion actually lies within the marketing space. I really enjoy, like, communications and seeing how I can really kind of help people, like, get more knowledge and understand how they can connect with other brands. And for me, I think that, my goal now is to go on and to become, hopefully in the future, a marketing strategist. And at this point, I never would have considered it when I first started. Like, I genuinely had thought, nope, it's bakery time. I'm going to go on and I'm going to do this. And now that I'm here and now that I've learned what I have, it's really been eye opening. And I think that one of the things about that journey, right, and that kind of made me a little uncomfortable at first, is I didn't want to admit it. During the first year in the program, I kept telling myself, I want to open the bakery. I want to open it. But then after having a long conversation with my student support coach, I'd realized maybe that's not what I want. Maybe that's just what I'm telling myself that I want, right? So I think that with my college journey, I learned that it's okay to change. It's okay to kind of pivot. It's okay to know that maybe what you thought in the beginning isn't what you ended up wanting to do anyway, right? And so, I don't know, for me, it's been a really great experience, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds.
We are so excited to see all that you do next. And we'd love to know, how has campus prepared you for these new goals, these marketing dreams that you never even realized you had before?
If I'm being completely real with you, I think a better question is how has campus not prepared me for this? I've learned so much during my time here. I've been able to actually, and this is so interesting that I had never even considered, like, being able to connect with professors in the way that I have from all these top universities. I've been able to establish really great professional networks. And I think that that's really important. And what's more is that, like, the classes themselves have given me the tools and the knowledge to know how to address certain parts of a business and to be able to know, like, how to navigate if I decided that I wanted to pivot into finances, that I know how to handle an accounting book, or if I wanted to pivot into an entrepreneurial space and start my own business, that that's something that I could start from the ground up. And I think that overall, it's been a really great experience. And because of campus, I've been able to get access to opportunities I otherwise wouldn't have even dreamed of.
And we also are so lucky here in the marketing department to have you as our intern supporting us in so many ways. Can you tell us about that experience and what you've done and how it's been for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as part of the marketing team, I've been working as an intern for a few years now. And I've kind of helped to support the social media side of things. So, I've been able to help support with Twitter, TikTok. You might have seen my face on a couple of other platforms. Um, and it's been really nice to be able to kind of get the real hands on work to be able to know how to do like certain parts of marketing. And this is an experience that otherwise I wouldn't have been able to have gotten anywhere else.
How about outside of your academic life here at campus? You talked a little bit about being a gamer. I know that you also started a gaming club here at campus. Can you tell me about the club life here and how that's enhanced your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as club life goes, I started working and finding a club, a student organization, the Gamers Club, right? And I did it because I really wanted to be able to connect with some of the other students that I'd met who I knew were into gaming. And as campus grew, like I'd started with the first cohort, right, where we had a group of a certain amount of students in the online space. And with every passing term, there would be more and more students, but I wouldn't be able to really get to reach out to them or get to meet them in class because they would be taking courses that I'd already taken, right? So being able to kind of start that space and start that gamers club, I was able to connect with students I otherwise might not have been able to see. And I got to learn a lot about them. I got to like make some really great friendships and have a blast along the way. Like I can't tell you how many amazing rounds I've had among us. Like it's been great.
That's so great and so fun that you have that community and that social outlet in an online space.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that like I had initially never thought would actually exist in an online space. Like I feel like I had this level of reservation when it came to operating on an online platform, but being able to connect with everybody, see everybody's face and to be able to like connect outside of class, it's been honestly really life-changing.
So now that you are one of our graduating students, you are nearing the end of your time here at campus. I want to know if you have any advice for a student who's maybe thinking about going back to college or just at the beginning of their campus journey. What would you say to them?
So I think that there are a couple of different things. I think the first thing would be never hesitate to reach out, never hesitate to communicate. Communication is the first step in being able to address anything that comes up. I know that if I had not taken the time to connect with any of my success coaches, any of the people at campus, any of my friends, that I wouldn't be where I am today. And what's more, I know that there are sometimes things that come up that can be uncomfortable or things that may not be like, the best in terms of what's going on with life. Circumstances change every day. And I think that it's important to know that whatever might be happening in your life, whatever might be going on, there's always going to be somebody in your corner. And I think that another thing that's kind of really important that I would emphasize is the power of the word yes. Being able to take on any opportunity that you come across with campus and just saying yes to something, even if it might feel uncomfortable, is something that will take you farther than you would ever think. I actually had never even considered that I would be able to work for the marketing department. I had never thought joining this program that I would be able to be a student leader, that I would be able to work as an orientation leader, an organization president, like any of it. But by using the word yes, by saying yes to things I otherwise wouldn't have even considered, I got to open doors to things that I'd never really thought were an option for me. And I think that if you're a student and you're looking to start and you don't really know and you're like, maybe, if you turn that maybe into a yes, you're going to love it. You're going to not even remotely regret it, I promise.
That is such a beautiful answer. Also, I can absolutely see this confidence that you've developed just in saying yes. I think that's so clear in what you just said. Well, Hannah, I think that was fantastic advice for prospective students, students who are just going back to college. And I can't wait to see what you say yes to and what your career, what others say yes to you in the coming years. Thank you so much for this conversation. And we wish you absolutely the best of luck.
Of course, and thank you so much for everything. Like, please, oh my God, you guys are the best.
Oh.
Like, seriously.